Albuquerque.
Welcome back, everyone, to Open Line. We are talking with Tim Takis. And really, we want to hear from you at this point. We have several calls on the line. We want to hear your story, your situation. Tim Takis can help answer your question. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Go right ahead, Kevin.
Hi, this question's for Tim. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Kevin.
I have two elder parents, and late this spring, they've been living in Florida for many years, and I moved them up to Michigan in assisted living.
Okay.
We talked about the cost of assisted living, and they're both in assisted living. I am trying to work on, my dad was a Korean War vet, and possibly getting assisted living help through the VA.
Yes.
My question is, I've started it, but I'm not getting very far, and I was wondering, should I seek legal advice to pay somebody to help me get this pushed through?
Right.
To navigate the VA.
Yeah, so...
Yes, and that's a friend of mine, his dad went into assisted living. He talked about a irrevocable something, trust or something.
Right. So Kevin is, I guess his parents are still in Michigan. So he would want to, and he's got, I'm sure assisted living, mom and dad are up there. Probably it's $5,000 or $6,000 a month up there for both of them. And so the VA, since his father is a Korean War veteran, for eligible veterans, they're entitled to almost $2,200 a month to help defray the cost of assisted living. And so that's called the Veterans Pension Program. Some people refer to it, or they think about, they've heard of aid and attendance benefits. But it's actually the Veterans Pension, and that's a program that's supervised by the VA. And so the VA literally, for eligible veterans or the widows of veterans, they will pay a cash payment, a monthly cash payment towards the cost, let's say assisted living. And so really where Kevin is, he's going, well, do I need to get legal advice? And I would say, yeah, because the VA has a net worth test. They basically say if you have a certain amount of money or property, then the VA says, well, you don't need our help. But the VA also has particular rules about what assets that you can have and what assets that you can't have. They also have particular rules about, can you give money or property away? And is that disqualifying? And so I would strongly urge Kevin to find a lawyer up in that area. And as I always say, when I come on, and I hope everybody believes me, because for Kevin, I realize that we can't help you because your parents are in Michigan, and they would have to be the clients, and I'm not going to represent folks in Michigan. But I know a lot of lawyers that do this type of work in Michigan, and so he should definitely contact the office, and we'll figure out how to, I'll find him something. I'll find him somebody I'll give him a good referral.
So just to navigate the VA, there are just so many ins and outs.
Yeah.
In the end, it would be in his interest to spend the money on a lawyer who could maybe help him get more money.
Sure. And when you look at that, it's the VA says, look, if you qualify, then we're going to pay your dad $2,200 a month. It helps defray the cost of assisted living. Well, that's $25,000 that's over $25,000 a year. And so I would say is that that's probably worth paying somebody to help you plan for that. And in addition, to get other planning that probably would need to be done as well, because not only does his father have they have to think about, okay, going to assisted living and get a veterans benefit. What if neither one of them or one of them can't stay there and they need nursing home care? Because sometimes things that you try to do to qualify for the veterans pension can mess you up for Medicaid. So it's, you have to find the right people, that know how to plan for this.
All right, we have a bunch of calls, so I'm just going to keep going through the calls. He also asked about an irrevocable trust, and we'll get to that in a moment. Thank you, Kevin. Good call. Let's go to Francis. Hello, Francis.
Hello.
Go right ahead. Are you there, Francis?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Okay. My sister lives in Arkansas. She's taking care of my mother. Well, my mother thought she was planning on having enough money to bury her. Well, my sister said that the state told her that she could not have any kind of money at all, and that she needs to spend all the money. We asked her to just put money back, and she decided she told my brother to take the mother out in 2 weeks. Well, my brother went to get the mother and take her to a home and everything. But then my sister said, no, you've got to have a power of attorney in order to take her out of my house. Is that true?
Okay, so all right. Now, first of all, her mom is in Arkansas, and did you kind of get the sense that she might be in a nursing home? You know, and her
I got the sense things are not going well.
Yeah, things are not going well. And now, since we're not really sure how to parse all of this out, but to help her answer her question, now she can't set money if her mother winds up going into a nursing home. Now, the state Medicaid program in Tennessee and probably in Arkansas, if you're not a married person, the state will allow you to keep $2,000 of money in the bank. That's basically it. So you can't say, well, I need to set aside $10,000 so I can bury myself. The state's going to say, well, you can't do that, but you can buy a funeral contract because that's a permissible spend down. And it sounds like what Frances needs to do is, because she has some potential conflict here, she may need to find somebody in Arkansas to assist her with the planning. I don't know if there was a spouse. Did she mention something about a father or somebody? But I mean, those are the kind of things that she might need to.
It sounds like a family
the right way. Yeah.
Squabble, family disagreement.
Family disagreement.
And those are tough.
Yes. And a lot of those disagreements could be based upon maybe what Frances is hearing from her sister isn't really what her sister is trying to tell her, because maybe her sister's not a good communicator. Maybe neither one of them are able to communicate very well because she's in Tennessee and her sister's in Arkansas. And so I would really encourage them to find somebody. For one, obviously, sit down and try to figure out what the facts are. And then the second is make an appointment talk to somebody like me, my counterpart, one of my counterparts in Arkansas, to see what it is exactly what's going on and what the law there actually allows them to do. Because that might be part of what they're having a disagreement about.
Look at what the law actually allows.
Yes.
Okay, Frances, thank you for that. Let's go to Marie. Hello, Marie.
Yeah.
Hi, go right ahead.
Thinking my mother will probably get to go to a nursing home, and what if she has joint accounts with children?
So your mother may have to go to a nursing home. What if she has joint accounts with children?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. What about that?
All right. If she is if her mother is in a nursing home and she's trying, but I think what it sounds like she's saying is that, well, mom can only have $2,000. We just mentioned that, in order for the state Medicaid program to cover the cost of her nursing home care, or help pay towards it. Well, does that include accounts that you own with children? And the answer is yes. So if Marie's mother has, say, an account that has $20,000 in it and one of the children's names is on it, then the state Medicaid program says that's that's the mother's money. So that counts toward the $2,000 Medicaid resource limit. Now,
is it a good idea to have?
I don't think so. Now, here's the sort of the scenario, and I'll just sort of spin out here really briefly, and that is that suppose that suppose it's Marie's money. This happens every once in a while, believe it or not, that children have their parents put their parents' names on the children's accounts. So if that's what's going on, then Marie would say, well, look, this was my money, and I put mom's name on my account because because for whatever reason. And so if you can show that convincingly to the state Medicaid program, they will say, well, look, you can take your mother's name off of your account, and we won't call it a gift. But that's not usually the way it works. Usually children have children get wound up putting their names on mom's account, or mom puts them on the account.
Probably because mom doesn't want to pay the bills, and they trust, again, the child to do that.
Yeah.
And it's easier for the child just to write it. Or is that's generally what happens?
That's generally what it is. There's two reasons why they do that. One is, well, if something happens to mom, meaning she goes into the hospital, I want to be able to pay mom's bills. It's like, well, that's what a power of attorney is for. Okay. Second is that, well, if something really happens to mom, which is synonymous around here with death, right? So if mom dies, right, then mom wants to have me to have that money, or have us to have that money, and don't have to go through court to get it. Okay. One is that how do you solve the problem of power of attorney or having authority on the account? There's two ways that you do that. One is that mom does what she should do and name somebody as her power of attorney. So that person then has all the authority they need to write checks out of mom's account. But if they don't want to do that, then at least they can give mom can give the daughter signature authority on the account. I authorize her to sign my checks, but it's not her money. Because if it's the daughter's money, then guess what happens then? The daughter gets sued. I mean, I remember being on this program probably about 10 years ago, and we had some lady that called in and said that, well, that happened to me because the next thing you know, I got a call from the bank and they were taking $1,100 out of my account for my daughter's dental bill.
Wow.
I mean, just right after I had been talking about it here.
On the hook. Yeah, immediately on the hook.
They were immediately on the hook, and it's like, well, so how could she avoid that? And the answer is, well, the dentist says, you gave your daughter co-ownership of that account. Now, that's easy for the bank. They don't have to worry about whether the daughter has authority or not by see her as a co-owner. But what's good for the bank isn't necessarily good for either one of them.
So these quick fixes of put two names on the account, that's not the best way to go necessarily.
That's not the best way to do that.
Yeah,
so they want at least give signature authority. If you don't want to get a power of attorney done, get signature authority on the account. And unfortunately, the banks tend not to, like I said, they tend not to maybe necessarily recommend that because they don't want to worry about signature, about authority. They want that person to be an owner.
Right.
And then second is that you can make the account payable on death to whoever you want. So the account, when mom dies, it's payable on death to the children. They just go to the bank with a death certificate and say that's our money.
All right, we're going to take a break. We have a lot of calls, so hold on the line. Marilyn, Roberta, Ken, all of those on the line, and others. We'll take a break. Be back with more calls right after this.